Hello everybody and welcome back to Innocent Life. Today is the last day of spring and it is also a Sunday. We need to go and pay a visit to Dr. Hope, and there's just a couple of other things that I would like to talk about. I put a clip in the beginning of this video of a cutscene that came up after the Spring Festival. Marcia comes to your house and tells you about a kitten that you can find, befriend, and adopt. So I guess we'll maybe start by me showing you where that cat is. Now, as you can see, it's raining today. I hope the cat isn't hiding. It doesn't rain very often, so I haven't been able to really observe what sort of things change in rain. Besides the obvious not being able, or not having to water your crops, obviously because they're watered for you, but I haven't noticed a lot of change other than that so far. If you want to find the cat, it'll be near the mushroom forest in the area behind your house. Takes a little bit of looking around to find, usually hiding kind of somewhere in between the trees. Here it is. And as you talk to the cat more, you can befriend it. So here we go. I would talk to it for a few days, but I wanted to hold off befriending it until I could do so in a video. I think I only had to talk to the cat maybe 5 or 6 times, if that. It really didn't take very long. And we'll just stick with the default name of Coco, because why not? And once you befriend the cat, it should go back to the ruins and kind of hang around your property. There's 2 ways to befriend the cat, and you can do whatever method you prefer. You can just talk to it once a day and befriend it slowly, or what you can do is talk to it and then enter and leave the mushroom forest, talking to the cat each time repeatedly, and you can befriend it in a single day if you'd like to. So we have our first pet. No animals yet, but I guess we're going to start small in this case. We're just going to start with a cat and sort of maybe, hopefully, work our way up to some more animals that we can hopefully have later. Now that that is done, we should go and speak to Dr. Hope. I'm very excited that summer is on its way. We get to do and see some new things, I hope. You guys have seen me do the run to Volcano Town enough times now. I think I am going to start just cutting out the long walk to and from the area, unless it gives me time to say something that I need to say, but it is sort of a long walk, so I'm going to cut it here, and I'll just see you guys when we get to Dr. Hope's house. Alright, so here we are. Let's speak to him and get our final maintenance for this month. Hopefully we'll get a couple of stat increases as well. It's sort of a shame there's so little interaction with Dr. Hope, even though you see him once a week. I wish he'd say something different every once in a while, because he always kind of says the same thing. Always says he has no doubts about sending you to work for another week, and everything always seems to be okay. I have a present for you. I finally finished modifying your helper robot. Come over here, Forte. Oh hey, our BattleBot is done. I had hoped to be able to change his appearance a bit, but I'm afraid I ran a little over budget. But in any case, I've deactivated his weapons, so he's completely harmless. He can't harvest crops or till the soil, but I've given him the power to fly. He can water crops and pick up anything that you don't need in your fields. And I also gave him a name, Forte. Isn't that a good name? Yeah, I think so. I knew you'd like it, so we'll just call this robot Forte then. It gives you the option to change the name if you'd like, but I think that name suits him fine. That's good. Actually, I like the name a bit myself, and it would have been disappointing to change it. Now then, Forte, you are going to be helping Robo from now on. Understood. Destination set, Easter Ruins. I look forward to working with you. I look forward to it too, I suppose. It would be nice to have a little bit of help. How was the Spring Festival? Everyone seemed very enthusiastic about repairing the bridge. I heard that the waters are too fast right now, but they can do it in the summer. Yeah, I hope that they can get that bridge fixed, because they were talking about it, especially Gaiak, who was talking about getting some villagers together to fix the bridge. Now, I want to go into Volcano Town, but I'm fairly certain we have to bring the battle bot to the ruins. Yes, you do. Okay. Well, that's kind of a pain. We're going to have to bring him to the ruins and then come back to town. It doesn't really give us much of an option. Robo headed back to the Easter Ruins with sidekick robot Forte. As soon as you arrived at your farm, Forte began to scan the area. I will begin working tomorrow. Press the R1 button and make a selection from the menu to give me a command. I must finish my scan today, so you must wait until tomorrow to give me commands. So we can't really do anything with him right now, but tomorrow we're gonna be able to start putting him to work and making good use of him, and using him is actually very, very easy and very straightforward. I will get into that more a little bit later, but today he's kind of just having a look of the lay of the land and whatnot, so we're just gonna let him do his thing. I'm gonna harvest my last few cucumbers here, and that finishes up the harvest for the spring season. I wanted to start clearing my land ahead of time to get prepared for summer, but as I actually found out, there is absolutely no way to get rid of your crops once you've planted them. You have two options. You can wait until the end of the season for everything to die, and then after everything has died, you can start using the sickle to kill and clear away all the crops. Or the other option is that if a storm happens, the storm may wipe out a vast majority of your crops and it will clear your field that way. In most games, what you can do is you can either use your hammer or your sickle to start clearing away squares of land or getting rid of crops or whatnot, but you can't actually do that in this game, and I was absolutely, completely, thoroughly confused. I thought, am I using the wrong tool? Like, is there something that I need to buy? Am I not doing this right? And I tried using a variety of different tools, a variety of different methods. I looked to see what level my tools were, but then I looked it up and I found out that unlike most games, once you've sort of planted your crops, it's kind of set into stone. So that's may or may not be a good or a bad thing, depending on who you are. I kind of like the choice to get rid of things and manicure things and, you know, make things look pretty and rearrange things. So it's kind of a bummer for me, but I think next season what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try and be a bit more careful about how I plant things, and I'm going to make this area a little bit more organized. It's kind of all over the place right now. I've got a few plants here, a few plants here, an empty patch here, a huge patch of asparagus, and then this kind of mix-matched line of crops over here. So I am going to make this a bit more uniform and tidy looking. And unfortunately, I'm not going to have any time to go back to Volcano Town because I've mostly just been doing a lot of talking and explaining and whatnot today. But that's okay, because that just gives me more of an excuse to sort of talk about it in another video. I went ahead and I played it ahead of time on another file. So what I wanted to do today was I wanted to go to the supermarket You know what? I actually did this yesterday, so never mind. I'm getting way ahead of myself. I did this yesterday where I went to the supermarket and I bought all of the crops that you can grow in spring and I put them away into the item storage. And the reason I did that was because I figured that next year I can go ahead and get started on planting things right away. Fresh out of day one of spring, I can take all this stuff out of my box and start planting it and get everything sort of planted the first day. I don't have to go into Volcano Town, hopefully, for any reason, and that will just give me a bit of a head start. All of these, 9 of each, cost me about $1,000, so it was relatively cheap to buy all of these seeds, and I had the money for it, so that was another issue. Maybe at the beginning of next year I won't have any money and I wouldn't be able to buy these things, but fortunately I do. Right now we've got all those seeds for spring that we're going to be able to use next season. We have a bunch of empty seed bags that we're going to be able to use. We can fill up these bags with seeds for summer. Hopefully we're going to be able to go to the supermarket tomorrow and do that first thing. I also took out Liberta's dictionary and I'm going to bring it to him next time we have the opportunity to see him, because as you do certain goals in the game, you will be able to get more definitions. So in this case, we've planted all of the crops that were available in spring. So that's kind of a hidden goal the game has, and once you've done that, you can take the dictionary to Liberta and he will give you more definitions, because if we just have a quick peek in here, our dictionary so far is very, very empty and lackluster, so we don't really have a lot of entries in here at all. So if we are able to get more definitions by doing some of these goals, then that's just kind of a little side objective that we can work on. It's nothing really too important, but it's just something that I wanted to point out, and we will be doing that at some point. And lastly, I just wanted to have a look at our tool stats. As you can see off screen, I managed to get my axe and my sickle both up to level 2, and I am going to be working on getting my watering can to level 2. Although I'm able to have the BattleBot now do watering for me, I'm going to try and actually manually water some of my crops in the summer season. Mostly just because once you get a level 2 watering can, you're able to get an upgrade from one of the villagers, and my understanding is that that watering can is an upgrade from the old sort of ratty run-of-the-mill watering can that we got from Dr. Hope. I haven't seen exactly what about it is upgraded. Perhaps you get more water in it or something like that, but I do want to be able to find out. So I am going to kind of make that one of my goals for the summer season. And if we have a look at some of our other stats, we're not doing too bad. Our human level is already at 5, and we have a pretty well-rounded amount of numbers all around the board. Our intelligence is a bit higher, but everything else is in the 20s mostly, and for the most part I think we've been doing pretty well in terms of working on Robo's stats. And if anything else comes up that I want to talk about, I'm trying to kind of keep notes so I don't miss anything. And I'm sure that I'm going to have a lot to talk about now that summer is coming up. So I really look forward to having some new things to do in the new season. It will kind of bring a new sort of gameplay element to the game. We're obviously going to be seeing some new things. Hopefully the villagers are going to fix the bridge. We're going to have new crops and maybe even another festival or something like that. So I want to thank you guys all so very much for joining me in the first season of this game. It went by pretty quickly and we got a lot done. I'm very, very happy with the amount of progress that we made. I hope that I will see you guys in the next video, and thank you all so very much for watching.